You stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you guys have time to look at the minutes?
I did. Make a motion to accept the minutes.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appointments. Let me just get them out of the way. John, you want to do the first reading and Tony can do the second since you had to read the long one last time.
All right, appointments, Veterans Advisory Committee, Dana Dillon, 2-year term to expire 3/1/2020. Family Services Advisory Board, Deborah Winicki, 1-year term to expire 3/1/2019. Arts Commission, Rachel Clark, 3-year term to expire 3/1/2021. Economic Development Commission, Richard Schuck, Chairman, to fill the unexpired term of Salverio P. Titus, term to expire 7/1/2021.
Is that a motion?
Do I have a
I guess that would be a
Yeah,
motion.
that would be a motion.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty. Transfer request, Tony, you want to do that one?
Cash fund balance, $1,000, insurance deductible reimbursed to 20-241-3320. Cash fund balance, $5,000, grant received, reimbursed to 20-241-7100. I guess I'm making a motion to accept that transfer request.
I would say. Do you want to elaborate on what they are or not?
They're pretty straightforward.
Okay, so I'll second that motion.
Yeah, it's not a.
I have a question, though.
Narcan and police department.
The grant, I understand, the $1,000 reimbursement for, it's talking about collision, what was that?
Deductible.
What prompted that?
Yeah, somebody backed into one of the police cruisers.
Yeah, I was curious.
Right.
Is that, oh, that was Jimmy Desso's car got,
No, I think it was Codges.
Codges.
Jimmy Codges was backed into.
Okay.
So,
fair enough.
They, I guess they reimbursed us.
yes.
Okay.
Do I have a motion?
Yeah, we second.
Perfect, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next one is the approval of the facility use form. This came about, I just looked at Tony a little about it. It came about because some groups, when they're not Stafford, town of Stafford groups, they want to have concerts or they want to advertise big functions, and it's on town property. We've never had them fill out liability insurance before, and I know Tony was great in doing that for the farmers market before they moved up to Heritage Square. They have to have liability. So now I think it's prudent to go because we had an issue at the Blues Fest. So that's why we're doing this. Anybody that wants to have anything that's advertised out there, for there. Tony had a quick question, which I kind of get it.
So the only, and of course, we're trying to cover the town for liability, should they have an event. Absolutely makes sense. The question is the scope of the event and the attendance potential. It goes without saying, anything involved with alcohol, that's without question where we need to have that. But it's the question of the groups, 15, 20, 25 members, looking at a gathering in, let's call it the lot, for art exhibit. It's put on by a group, nonprofit. Are we looking for liability insurance that they may pay $100, $200, and it's a free event for them? They're trying to give it to the benefit of the town. So I would think Chris from our liability insurer, he can kind of quantify. Is there a limit we can kind of put it to within reason that makes sense? 1 to 40 attendees, no alcohol or anything else, very low impact potential, not a traffic issue. In those cases, maybe that's something we don't need to require. But again, it's a good question for him to answer as the expert for us.
I know there were.
How much does it cost somebody?
Well, I know I just spoke to somebody today, and if they want to pull a policy for a year, it was like $1,000.
Yeah, which again, if it's single event, it could be near $200.
Right, I think they were saying anywhere from $150
Yeah.
to $250 for an event. But you're right, we should quantify that because we have some people coming in with huge concerts that they wanna have, and they
Absolutely.
sell tickets, and they have bands and all of that, and they absolutely should have insurance. You know what, if they're selling tickets and they're advertising for a lot of people to come in,
Mhm.
you know what, if somebody goes down to Hyde Park with 15 people and they wanna have a picnic,
Yeah.
Right,
there's
that's,
nothing we can do about that. I'm sure they wouldn't come to us to ask us to use it. Do you know what I mean?
right, if they're gonna use one of the facilities listed,
Mhm.
again, maybe it's the group that does the plays or the musicals sometimes, the Dianas do a nice job, right? And they used to use the old town hall. They have 30 attendees, there's no real impact or even,
There would be an impact if somebody fell down the
well,
stairs
that's
and
the
broke
question,
their
so
leg.
at what level do we, with Chris's expertise, does he help us understand? It doesn't matter, and it's starting at one attendee or more.
Sure, sure. I
So
can check
if
with
we're
him.
looking, if
Sure.
not, some of these folks might be priced out and, we don't wanna lose any kind
Mhm.
of traffic into town.
We don't wanna lose any traffic,
Right.
but we also don't wanna have more lawsuits.
We don't, right? So, yeah, I think it's at least just to get a little more defined.
Sure. John?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't wanna pinch somebody either, I mean, and we want them to have their functions, but we also,
So you want something.
somebody walks across
Yeah, I
the
think
street and
something
gets
in
hit by a
writing.
car during the function, are we gonna get
that's
sued?
right. And I don't care if it's 20 people or 30. If they
Right,
call and
right.
ask permission to use one of our sites, then they should. But that's good. We'll have him put something in writing for us.
The other question I had is, the first couple of lines are talking about the intent. Town of Stafford will not pay any expenses, attorney fees, or liability amounts as a result of the use of town-owned or maintained properties. Now, in an instance where somebody attends an event and they're leaving that event, left the premises technically,
Mhm.
but let's say it was where they served alcohol, right, by chance. They leave that premise and now they've left, and trip and fall somewhere else in another piece of adjacent town property, what happens in that case? So I don't know that the town is, not deemed liable
Right.
in that case, so I kind of.
So if they leave the function, if they leave Hyde Park and they fall on Main Street,
Then they said, hey, but I was there all day, legally partaking, I had X amount, within reason.
Hmm.
So at that point, I don't know if the town has no liability, and it talks about we wouldn't, but again, that's clarity from Chris to know, because anybody can.
he helped
attempt
format
to
this.
sue.
He is the one that did this,
Perfect,
so,
then as long as he's reviewed that,
Yep.
and then the other thing
He
is the one
did.
thing to clarify, then
Yep.
I'm good with
Yep.
that.
yeah, and we'll get it in writing. We'll ask him how other towns do it. I know most towns do ask for liability insurance for anything,
Oh, yeah.
but you know what? That's a good question.
They also charge.
They do also charge,
Right,
you're
they charge.
absolutely right.
We don't charge for
Sure.
facilities.
So, you know, if they have to use the parks, or if
Yep.
they have to use Memorial Hall, or the community center, a lot of times places, you know, people, but, you know, do we wanna go to that extent? I get it.
And I only have one small typo.
Oh, yeah,
The third paragraph talks about applicants shall furnish liability insurance, providing insurance coverage for the town, but it should be to the town. Because it's not for the town.
yep, to the town.
That's
Perfect. Yep. Got it.
That's all I got.
I knew you were going to typo. All right, so do we table it or do we approve it with those, what would you rather do? Would you rather see what he says in writing?
Yeah, I think we could just table for the next meeting, it's only 2 weeks away, right?
Yes,
Would that-
yes.
would that be adequate?
We have a lot going on in that meeting, but yes.
And, I guess I make a motion to table.
Okay. You're not listening to us.
I'm sorry, I was showing that.
Okay, so what we were talking about is, do we want to approve it with those changes, or should we just table it? And like Tony said, we have a meeting in 2 weeks, we can table it till we get something from Chris, and he made a motion to table it.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty. Public comment? Ooh, crickets. Old business? New business? Motion to adjourn?
I don't have any new business, I just want to comment, I look forward to the fact we have appointed a new chairperson for the EDC.
Mhm.
You know, we didn't have any activity for 5 straight months, and
And
it's
he's here.
unfortunate,
Yep.
so, Rich, welcome. Hope we can get some things accomplished. It's a very
Absolutely.
important group, and we've been stagnant here for a while, not being able to do anything, so I look forward to working with you.
Perfect, and let's hope we can get everything moving along.
There you go.
Motion to adjourn,
So, you got it, John?
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, aye.
Quick, record.